What's up everyone, iShock here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to tame a queen bee, which you can change into a beehive and then produce an infinite amount of honey right from your home or base in Ark. Real quick before we get into PC and console, if you're on mobile instead, you're just going to learn an engram to craft the beehive at level 59. It's crafted at the smithy with 100 sap, 50 chitin, and 200 thatch, and then you'll place it on the side of a redwood tree, the same you would as a tree sap tap. Back to PC and console. For me, the number one use and reason I always need honey is the nanny. The nanny is part of the S Plus and SS mod packs that assists in feeding and imprinting babies. It's looking like Genesis Part 2 will have a shoulder pet that will perform the same functions as the nanny for everyone on official soon, as once again Wildcard has taken a page from the community, and we're grateful. So let's get right into taming this queen. First thing you need to know is there's two types of hives. Some that only have honey but no bees, and some with drones that spawn to defend it once you take the honey, and once broken will also spawn the queen bee. The second is what we're looking for, but both of them do produce honey on a 15-minute cooldown. Now, I'm not going to go too far into hive locations because there's just too many variations on different maps, but overall the best place to look for them is on the side of large redwood trees. At the end of the video, I'll quickly show a few up-to-date locations on different maps to find hives. In order to get the queen bee out, we're going to need to break the hive. It's got 5,000 health points, and if you leave the hive undamaged and go out of render range, it'll restore to full health. You can break hives from a distance though, and the drones will ignore you, but the queen will likely stay right where she spawns when the hive is broken. So you're going to need a way to get to her to passively feed her. Grapples are the easiest, most reliable tool to get the job done. You can use some climbing picks or build up to the hive before you break it as well. Some people even build a trap for the queen, but in my opinion all that's unnecessary and just a waste of time and resources. You can also use a variety of dinos to damage it. Something as easy as a Dillo or a Pterodon to spin attack through. You can get away before the drones can even attack you. There's hundreds of ways to do this, but for simplicity and budget's sake, we're just going to use a crossbow. The armor you're wearing does make a big difference. Ghillie suit is my recommendation as it's the easiest and available on all maps. With Ghillie, you shouldn't draw drone aggro when you go to feed the queen, and if you do, only the initial 30 damage and slow should affect you, but not the damage over time you would get without the Ghillie suit. The radiation suit is an upgrade to this, negating all the damage and slow, but it's much harder to make, and again, it's just unnecessary for such a simple tame as you're about to see. Bug repellent is the last easy enough item I'd recommend. It should reduce your drone aggro enough to sneak up and passive feed her quickly, turning them all to allies before they can murder sting you. If you put bug repellent in your tame's inventory and then use it, you can give your dino bug repellent also. Overall, these things just make it easier. Now, for weapons and alternatives, if you've got higher quality ones or better ones, why not use them? But if you don't even worry about it. A primitive crossbow and arrows will absolutely get the job done in just a few minutes. So, crossbows with arrows is pretty good, crossbows with fire arrows is very good. Comp barrel is a decent amount more damage, but not really necessary versus how simple it is to make a crossbow. Guns seem to have no effect. I didn't bother testing explosives, seemed unnecessary. Let me know in the comments if you shove a rocket or C4 up a beehive and what the results are. Now once the beehive breaks, the queen will come out. She'll either stay right where she was or she'll start to drift away. Get over to her quickly and feed her. If it takes more than one feed to tame her, then stay away from a bit while she becomes ready to eat again. The preferred food is simple kibble, but I just use rare flowers as they seem to be very effective. Put the taming food in the last hotbar slot in order to feed it to it once you approach it. So now you've successfully tamed your queen bee. You'll see if you walk up to her, you have the option to turn her into a beehive that'll go into your inventory. If you're not leaving the map, go ahead and do this right away as it'll keep it safe. If you are going to upload and travel to another map, you're going to need to cryopod the queen bee, not turn it into a hive. If you try and travel with a hive in your inventory, you'll get the same error message as traveling with tribute items. You can also interact with the radio wheel the normal way, and one of the options you'll see will be obtain beehive, and you can gain the hive in your inventory that way as well. You can also demolish the hive and it'll return to the queen bee form. If the hive runs out of flowers, it'll eventually decay and turn back into the queen bee. Be careful if you're on aberration, the queen bee has been known to not spawn correctly from demolishing. Rare flowers are needed to make the hive active. Once you add flowers, you'll see bees start spawning around it. It'll consume one flower every 4 hours and produce one honey every 45 minutes or one beeswax every 45 with primitive plus. I get most of my rare flowers out of beaver dams while I'm farming cementing paste. Make sure you pull all the items out of the beaver dam so it collapses and respawns new materials. There are also a few places you can pick up rare flowers right from the ground, or if you want to go crazy, you can get a Therizino tickle chicken, and they do a great job of harvesting them in the swamps. Chibi pets may cause the bees to sting even if you have a ghillie suit on, so take your chibi off before interacting with any of the hives or queens. Hives can be placed on ground, rafts, platforms, and platform saddles, but they cannot be placed on structures like foundations or ceilings. You can check hit points of the hives with a spyglass. Let's talk about some common uses for honey on a official real quick. It can be used on fishing rods as bait, the same as leech blood or sap. It's an ingredient for sweet vegetable cake, which is used to heal herbivores and tame several dinos, and honey is an ingredient for extraordinary kibble. If you use it in a custom recipe, it'll restore a good amount of health. You can store it in a refrigerator to extend its lifespan. If you're playing on a modded server with SS or S+, I believe the nanny actually preserves it the longest. If you put honey on a hotbar slot, then use it. It will consume it and throw it on the ground as bait for nearby creatures, but you can't pick it back up. Dropping it any other way will just drop a normal item that you can pick back up. You can passive tame roll rats this way by chucking it in the hole when they burrow. They will come up, eat it, and gain 80 food, the same as kibble. It also provides the same tame amount as kibble for dire bears, mochops, megatherium, and to temporarily tame the leopardon. Dire bears are also the only dinosaur immune to all the bee drone debuffs that you will not get dismounted on a bear if you get hive aggro. If you chuck honey in the water, it'll calm an aggressive lead Scythius, might save your raft. And last, a piece of honey can be preserved forever by attaching it to a fishing rod. Okay, I know I said I wasn't going to test rockets, but I decided to do it anyway. Mother of God, it's an alpha subscribe. It killed my mana. Just kidding, you don't gotta worry about any alpha subscribes. I really would appreciate it though if you hit that subscribe button for me. I enjoy making these videos to help you all master Ark as quickly as possible. So again, please subscribe, don't forget to like, and if you can share this video other places, that helps even more. Thanks everyone. I'm gonna leave you off with a short montage of some places you can find some beehives. Thanks again. Peace.
Flying off your imagination, finding